welcome to another edition of The Olive Tree with me, Julia Fisher. Today I'm at the Sheba Medical Centre in Tel Aviv on an emergency ward caring for babies born with congenital heart disease. What makes this story so interesting is that the majority of children that pass through this ward come from neighbouring Muslim Arab nations, including Gaza, Syria, Iraq and Kurdistan. This is made possible by an organisation called Shevet Achim, founded and directed by a Christian called Jonathan Miles. Today I'm talking to the consultant cardiologist, a Jewish doctor called Yuriel Katz. I started by asking him how long he'd been involved working as a surgeon, saving the lives of these children.
Since 2000, this is when I came back from my fellowship in pediatric cardiology. Initially in Wolfson Hospital, which I'm sure you know, and for about 10 years I've been working here. And actually it's a great part of what we do is caring for children from underserved areas, both in Palestine and also from other Arab countries, Iraq, Kurdistan, and so on.
It's quite something for our listeners to understand that you are an Israeli Jewish doctor caring for the enemy's children, really.
No. I'm a human being caring for other human beings. They're not politicians. They don't have political agendas. They have heart disease. And I'm a doctor. So that's all it comes down to, really.
When these children come in, very often the relatives with them are very fearful and they wonder what's going to happen.
Yes, we see that. It's in their mind, or it's a matter of fact, that we are an enemy country. I don't know, and we don't inquire how much propaganda or what stories they've heard. But I'm sure that they are frightened. In fact, I've never seen anyone enter a hospital anywhere without being frightened. It's very scary. And if you are coming from an area that's in constant conflict, and all you've seen of my people is soldiers and army and bombs, it is quite normal that you would feel very frightened, even more than usually. There's a language barrier, although most of us speak Arabic. That's good enough, to converse and, to have a basic conversation. Most of our doctors speak Arabic. And we see that within a day or two, they realize that we don't look at them as enemies, but as human beings. And, what amazes me is to see the patients, Israeli and Arab patients. We have a formal position here. You could say that we have to be nice, or we have to being a medical team and being, the hospital team, that you have to be okay with them. But that doesn't apply to the Israeli families that are here. But still, what you see is that I think they see themselves as, brothers in in trouble. And they help each other. And you see mothers and fathers helping each other and sitting together. And we are very much the same, we're all Middle Eastern people. And there's much more in common than a contrast. It's the situation that causes the animosity. So once you remove the political context and you remove the formal barriers, it's people with people again. And you see that. And it's very nice. It's very, it makes you, it regains your faith in the human race.
It is a unique situation, though, isn't it? It's quite unlike anywhere else in the world where you are doing this sort of surgery on the enemy's children, as it were. What does it mean to you to work in this environment?
Every time you say enemy's children, I don't know. Honestly, I don't know what you are talking about.
That's the language that is used in the secular media from where I come from.
Okay, but that's not. Honestly, I can tell you that we don't look at the Palestinians as our enemies. I don't, and most of the people I know don't. There's conflict. Some of them are terrorists. Some of them would like to see me disappear in one way or another. I don't want to, and I will do everything not to. But that's in the global picture. I don't look at the people who come to our hospital as enemies. Not the children, not the families. And you just don't. We don't use this terminology. Nobody does. The conflict is between the leaderships and between those who choose to become part of the conflict. It is not between the simple people, who want to have a normal life and raise their children. And you could say that some of them are influenced by the politics and by the media to a degree that they become, they feel that this conflict, or they feel they have to be active in one way or another. But I think most people don't. So I don't. None of us uses this term as enemies. Okay.
The question then is, what does it mean to you to be involved in this work personally? It is so unique.
It means a lot, mainly because you know that you are helping children that would not have this kind of medical treatment anywhere else. The Israeli health insurance is actually very good. An Israeli child that needs surgery can go to any hospital the family chooses, and they will be most welcome. There's a competition on patients, and we joke that we have to be very good, okay, which is important, but you also have to be very nice in order for the patients or the families to come to you. We feel that we are very nice naturally. We don't have to do this extra effort. But you know that you are in constant competition. There's a hospital, I think 4 kilometers from here, which is our biggest competitor. So you know that that you're not in any unique position. They can go anywhere. Which is not true for Palestinian children, not true for the Kurdish children. It's like they have one shot. They have to. They got this chance and they come here, and this forces us or compels us to be, to do our extra best, because it's not that they can, have, something which is okay and then maybe come back in a year or two and so on. No, they come. They get, you do your best and you hope that they will go back to their natural surroundings or a community which has which doesn't have such a good medical infrastructure. So they have to be very well so they can survive there.
Tell me a little bit about the team that you have working with you. They share your same heart.
Yeah, definitely. Everybody here feels the same. I can tell you that we have our team, we have Jews, we have Arabs, we have Muslim Arabs and Christian Arabs, Druze. Everybody feels that we are all the same and all doing our best, and I have never, or I would say seldom, seen any attitude that is not right, and it's not because of a system of politically correct that's being, dictated, but it's because you work with people and you do great things, and you do our work is very stressful, and you know that a lot depends on how you work, and a lot depends on your teamwork, and there's a person next to you, and you do your best, they do their best, and it really doesn't matter, whom they call God, how they pray, if they pray at all, but you know that they are committed to doing their best, because they wouldn't be here otherwise. You cannot work in this kind of work without being committed. It's just, you cannot keep your energy if you're not committed totally to what you do.
You've been listening to Yuriel Katz, consultant cardiologist in Israel, talking about his work with Shevet Achim, saving lives of babies born with congenital heart disease. The Olive Tree Reconciliation Fund is a Christian charity based in the UK that supports the needs of both Jewish believers and Arab or Palestinian Christians living in Israel and the wider Middle East. If you'd like to know more about our work through our bi-monthly newsletter, including news about our upcoming tours, please either visit our website www.olivetreefund.org or write to me, Julia Fisher, OTRF, PO Box 402, Billingshurst, RH14 4BQ in the UK. Meanwhile, join me at the same time next week for another story from the Olive Tree. Until then,